So we do the King of Prayer.
Never knew.
So this is for the sake of the two patients.
David.
Oh, David. Huh? David McCord. So his condition is quite serious, and maybe won't live too long.
Is that Korosito Korta Yapores, Nan Losa, then Koro, Roma Cabo, then Tabatino Letiare, Yapura, Tajidala, Koro, she says, then the Taman felt she says, neither Mango Pava Nani, that Makudois.
No.
Mangasama.
So at least it's really good to know that at least David, towards the end of his life, so he made a very strong, connections with the Dharma, and he's been particularly very doing the White Tara practice for 3 years. So it's been sick for 3 years, right? and in during that times, so he's been doing a lot of practice, and so it's good that he made a very good connections with the Dharmas towards the end.
Yes, life, he just avoid that friend. He avoid the old friend. That's very good, Just he avoid that friend all time, feature there, all there. That's very good, Se con coro jaya, se tamadel coro, she says, she any season, Ramakabe ko jis to call Nyachi. Ita manzo ta melo jana ko gese cheba chengo ni sepia de ungurwa. Yes. Then manga baba nani ta mengo no isani. Ra mang baba ma te chi cha nyon se te ture. Then ko engo si ne kubashi ari teno ngando so chi ga pi Japanese de ngando de ba yon ke chi re isani. Then some portion of it.
So although the David hasn't met the Dharma, have met the Dharma for his whole life, but it's really to have that, make the connection to, especially towards the end of one's life, to have that strong connection, and specifically with the White. He's doing a very strong, doing a lot of practice with the White Tara. So it is a really, it's very beneficial for him. And also, so if we could also, by doing this prayer for him, so it could also help him to maintain that the very virtuous state of minds, even at the last minute. And then the other patient is for the we're doing is the prayer is also dedicated to the Marx Fernandez fathers, so who is also very sick, and in fact, so I met him in the past. We had a cup of tea together, and also in a long past, even they used to, Mark family used to have a holiday place in Anglesey, so we spent some weekend over there. So there was a strong connection there. So please also remember the Mark's father in your prayer as well. Thank you.
Man tombo is maro zaman signing as ome. Yeah, Choros Melodias, Maro Melodiani, Tandal Jawi, Mal Melu Jaja, Kajabaji, Sozon Trenton, Melu Majan, Zemar was Zemar, Lama Zemas, and Lama Zemakarjoga. Mulzakaji, Sozon Nachi Maja, and Lama Zemated.
So just as I, advise you to do this, prayer for these patients. So I also even from my own part, I would also do the prayer, and I must do the prayers. Otherwise, it is not a right, for me just sitting on this high throne and just simply, telling other to do the prayer. And when I, if I don't do this prayer on my part, then I'm not being honest. And this is what we can, a teacher or the lamas who don't practice what they tell, teach other to do the practice. So we can call that as like a fake lama. So if I don't do that, I will end up like that, and I always, not simply boasting myself, but always, whatever I advise the other to do, prayers or whatever to do, I might also do that same as you do others.
Senje dea tanje de ma denga tanje cha la rong xiang yi da di che de da zumba che bi melo no su no ji melo so jin zhe ma shu so so na so da so no tin yin wan dang an de yi da.
So just as we begin this the recitation of this the prayer of the King of the Prayers, so just also to not only these the about to mention patient, but also we should also think of all the other sentient beings who are also subject to the nature of sufferings, and just reflecting on their the suffering of all other beings, and then how they all the other beings are lacking happiness. So we should also generate this strong thought to of wishing all other beings from free suffering, and to wishing them to have happiness as well, and also we should also make a strong prayer that may whatever the prayer that we recite, whatever is said in that prayer, may all this be fulfilled. So with this thought, we begin the prayer now. Thank you. No.
Melon sene jan zheng yen na to ma so zong go le ge le ta ye so zhe zhe rong se zhe rong xia zhe yang an de ro ye san lu ba de la sa melon de ma ja go lu ti ngo de so san lu ba de ma sa so ma na pe zhe mo so wang ju de la san do le ya bu ya de.
So of course we are saying this prayer for the sake of other beings, but in fact, the moment we begin these prayers, we ourselves become the recipients of these benefits of this prayer. The first recipients of receiving recipients of this the benefit of the saying prayers. So we do get immediately when we started to do this prayer, we start to think on this on the line of the meaning of this prayer, how it brings peace and brings up this positive virtue state of mind within ourselves. So like even if you think of the Lord Buddhas, so he actually reached to this the complete state of enlightenment by first initially by thinking or striving for the practice in order to really to benefiting all other beings. So with that aspiration to benefit other, he reached his complete enlightenment. recite.
O lines amongst men, Buddhas past, present and future, to as many as you as exist in the 10 directions, I bow down with my body, speech and mind. On waves the strength of this king of prayers for exalted sublime ways, the bodies as numerous as atoms of the world, I bow down to the Buddha's pervading space. On every atom is found a Buddha sitting amongst countless Buddha's sons. I look with eyes of faith to victorious ones, thus fulfilling the entire Dhammadhatu. Of these with oceans of excellence endowed with an ocean of wondrous speech, I sing praises to the greatness of all Buddhas, a eulogy of those gone to bliss. Garlands of flowers I offer them, and beautiful sounds, supreme perfumes, butter lamps and sacred incense I offer to all of the victorious ones. Excellent food, supreme fragrances, a mound of mystic substances high as Mount Meru, I arrange in special formation and offer to those who've conquered themselves. And all peerless offerings I hold up in admiration to those gone to bliss. With the strength of faith and sublime ways I prostrate and make offerings to the conquerors. Long overpowered by attachment, aversion, and ignorance, countless evils I have committed with my acts of body, speech and mind. Each and every one of these I now confess. In the perfections of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas and the Arhats training and beyond, in the latent goodness of every living being, I lift up my heart and rejoice. O lights into the 10 directions, Buddhas who have found the passionate stage of enlightenment, to all you I direct this request, turn the incomparable wheel of Dharma. O Masters wishing to show Paranirvana, stay with us and teach, I pray, for as many eons as there are specks of dust, in order to bring goodness and joy to all beings. May all small merits that I amass, as prostrating, making offerings, confessing, rejoicing, and asking the Buddhas to remain and teach the Dharma, be downloaded to supreme and perfect enlightenment. May my offerings be received by all past Buddhas and by all those now in 10 directions. Do not yet come, quickly perfect their minds and reach Buddhahood, a state of supreme full awakening. May all Buddhas of May the world be completely filled with Buddhas who have attained illumination under sacred trees. May they all be surrounded by bodhisattvas. May all living beings of the 10 directions always abide in health and joy. May they live in accord with the way of the Dharma, and may their every wish become fulfilled. By my living in the ways of enlightenment, may I remember my past lives and all my reincarnations, and all circles of death, migration and rebirth. May sensitivity for truth be ever strong in me. Following in the footsteps of the Buddhas, may I fully perfect the sublime ways of the Bodhisattvas. May I practice a faultless, undegenerating stainless and pure ways of self-control. May I master all languages that exist, including those of gods, yakshas, spirits and varieties of men, as well as all forms of communication of living beings, that I may run to show the Dharma in every way. Striving thus in the transcending perfections, may I never forget the Bodhi mind. May I totally cleanse within my mind stream all negativities and mental veils from karma, delusions and karmic maras, to be able to live in the world unaffected by its stains. An unstained lotus grows in the mud, like the sun and the moon shine without obstruction in the sky. For as long as there are Buddha fields and directions, may I strive to quell the misery of the lower realms. May I place all beings only in happiness and bring them only in happiness and joy. May I strive to complete the ways of enlightenment, to abide in ways harmonious with the world. May I expose to others the ways most sublime, and myself abide in them throughout all future eons. May my ways and the ways of bodhisattvas always go together hand in hand. In body, speech and mind, may I attune to their sublime ways. May I never be separated from the good friends who reveal the path of sublime ways, and who wish only to benefit me. May I never disappoint them for even a moment. May I constantly envision the perfect Buddhas, the protectors who are surrounded by bodhisattvas. In the future, may I never weary of devoting to myself with them with all my strength. May I forever uphold the holy Dharma of the Buddhas and illuminate the sublime ways of enlightenment. May I practice throughout all future ages the ways and deeds of the sublime path. Circling the various realms of existence, may I amass inexhaustible goodness and wisdom. May I become an unending treasure of qualities such as method, wisdom, samadhi, experience of a bodhisattva. In every atom the Buddha fills numberless of atoms. Each field is filled with Buddhas beyond conception, and each Buddha is surrounded by myriad bodhisattvas. All these dwellers in sublime ways I turn my attention. Thus in all atoms within the directions abide within the space of a single hair, an ocean of Buddhas within an ocean of Buddha fields, performing enlightened activities for an ocean of eon. Each Buddha with his perfect speech releases an ocean of sound with every word he says. to satisfy the infinitely diverse beings. Thus does the speech of a Buddha constantly flow. These conquerors, past, present and future, continually turn the methods of Dharma wheels. With all the powers of my mind I listen for the inexhaustible sound of their words. All future eons that could possibly be manifest within me in a single instant, and I myself in a fraction of a moment enter into all these eons of the 3 times. All past, present, future lions amongst men I envisioned with instantaneous wisdom, and by the power of the Bodhisattva's examples I focus upon the objects of their experience. I manifest Buddha fields past, present and future upon one single atom of existence, and then I transform every single atom of existence into a Buddha field. By this, when the future lights of the worlds eventually gain Bodhi, turn the Dharma wheels and reveal the past into Nirvana's supreme peace, may I take rebirth in the very presence. Then may I attain the 10 powers, the power of instant magical emanation, the power which is the vigour of every door, the power of excellent activity, the power of all-pervading love, the power of constantly positive energy, the power of passionless wisdom, the powers of knowledge, method and samadhi, and the power of enlightenment itself. May I purify the power of karmas, may I crush the powers of illusion, may I render powerless the powerful maras, perfect the powers of sublime ways. Purify an ocean of realms, may I liberate an ocean of sentient beings, may I see an ocean of truth, and may I realise an ocean of wisdom. May I perform an ocean of perfect deeds, may I perfect an ocean of prayers, may I revere an ocean of Buddhas, and may I practice entirely for an ocean of eons. Through my practice sublime Bodhisattva ways, may I gain the enlightenment of a Buddhahood, and then fulfil the enlightened and sublime aspirations of the Buddhas past, present and future. In order to match the ways of the sage, called Samantabhadra, the always sublime one, chief amongst the awakened one's son, I now dedicate all virtues that I possess. Just as sublime sage Samantabhadra dedicated all pure practices of body, speech and mind to the attainment of the pure state of the pure realms, so do I now dedicate the fruits of all my efforts. In order to gauge in all sublime virtue, I offer the prayer from Manjushri, and in future may I never become fainting in striving to perfect the exalted Bodhisattva's ways. May my deeds never reach a limit, may my qualities of excellence become boundless, and by abiding in immeasurable activity may I find Buddhahood the state of limitless manifestation. Limitless is the extent of space, limitless is the number of sentient beings, limitless are the karma and delusions of beings, such are the limits of my aspiration. One may offer supreme ornaments of the Buddha fields of the 10 directions to the conquerors, and also offer the highest joys of men and gods, eons numerous as atoms of the world. But to read or hear the King of Prayers with eyes looking towards supreme illumination and face shining in one's heart for even an instant gives birth to far more superior merit. Should anyone recite the aspiration of sublime ways, now pass beyond all states of sorrow, rise above all inferior beings and gain the vision of Amitabha, Buddha of infinite light. In a very lifetime all sublime joys will be theirs. The experience of the all-sublime Samantabhadra without obstruction will quickly be theirs. Whoever by the power of ignorance has committed the 5 hideous crimes, prayer of Samantabhadra will rapidly dissolve them without a trace. One will become endowed with wisdom, knowledge, beauty, enlightened marks, good lineage and race. Hordes of Maras, Jatakas dare not attack one, who is so honoured throughout the 3 realms. Swiftly one reaches the royal Bodhi tree to sit beneath it for the welfare of all beings. Swiftly one awakens to enlightenment and then turns the Dharma wheel, overcoming the Maras and their host. Merely by giving voice to these aspirations, sublime ways of a Bodhisattva, the effects can only be known by an omniscient Buddha, therefore doubt not that it leads to enlightenment. In order to follow the excellent example set by the wisdom of the Bodhisattva Manjushri, the always sublime Samantabhadra, all virtues I dedicate to their peerless studies. All conquerors pass into 3 times, praise the Supreme this peerless dedication. Therefore I also surrender all roots of my activities to the sublime goals of a Bodhisattva. When the moment of my death is arrived, may I remain free from all spiritual obscurations. May I receive the face of Amitabha and transmigrate to Sukhavati, the pure land of joy. Having arrived there, may I fulfill all aims of this prayer of aspirations, benefit the countless living beings throughout the 10 directions. In the joyous mandala of we were born in the band of lotus, and may I there have the pleasure of gaining a pure prophecy from Amitabha himself. Having won this word of prophecy by the power of a mind, may I feel all directions, many millions of mystical emanations that bring limitless benefits to the world. If I recite in this prayer of sublime ways, I have amassed a tiny fragment of goodness. May it work immediately to fill all dharmic hopes of living beings. Through supreme merit I have gained, may my dedication and sublime deeds of the Bodhisattva, may all living beings drowning in the flood of suffering be reborn in the immaculate realm of Amitabha Buddha. May the supreme impassible King of Vows benefit all my good. This text adorned by Samantha Bhadra being accomplished, may all streams of ill fortune be emptied.
Meditation.
We do our usual meditation. Okay, thank you, Dr. Chu. So trying to listen to these teachings with our motivation of bodhicittas, wishing to achieve the complete enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings, and not only we cultivate, we generate such a thought or such a wish to achieve enlightenment, but also to make a pledge or take a vow to ourselves that to always to strive for the accomplishment of this enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings. So this is something when we think of so many past lives that we have, probably we never have made such a pledge or the vow to seek complete enlightenment to benefit other beings. So it's a very when you think on that, so it's to have such a moment, so it's a very very precious. So this so through this, so at least we know this shows that so we have taken this great opportunity to follow or to practice the Mahayana dharmas. So now with the commentary on the teaching, so last time we finished at this here where it says third, here too the master should mention the training that were explained before in the context of the person of small capacities. So what is that? The trainings or the instructions that we should know here. So it is really the main instruction is to cultivate the thought of refraining, from causing harm to other beings, and so this such thought, the refraining from such this thought of refraining from causing harm to other, or this principle of non-violence or the compassion. So this is really the we can say is the very essence of the whole entire Dharma practice, and also that is we can also say that is the main the instructions or the teachings that we of the Lord Buddhas.
이제 아소사바 이 샤진로 코라소사 비큰 로가 다다 아시면 거지 나 샤로 담바서 때 다다네 여봐 소사바나사 이지제 라마 노도제 노도제다 나셰베 소신기 제데 샹아 예라 담바 나제 샤고 스틴려 당연 소시 시작인 나 현재세 담바 레가라 다 샤자서 봐서 이 대제 달아다 야스테드 이게 집에 라마네 거요 소소나제 네 얘네들이 그림을 손 대돈 로비아제네 나 소사바나 니지제 라마노스 니지제 니도 집에 라마 니 라마세 소소 진행이 또 집에 라마세 소제까지 장마도 집에 라마세 니지 라마 거기 때아마 집에 라마세 대션 좋아라서 근데 강에 다 해서 니지 라마데 강아 집에 라마래 이거라 니지 라마세 선도 진행이 또 예 니지 라마 다 니지 라마나도 다 소소 치서서 니도 집에 라마선 대동 되는 나야 수시 가세 나셰비 소시는 생아야라 담바세 나 수시 내는 수시 대대 근데 노벌에서 내시 당에도 동에 다시에도 소제 코로 더 내바지 뭐 쉬어야 잘 소제 서바쪽에 코를 수 있다 나 소제 근데 라마 근데 여도 근데 소제 근데 겐드 근데 간저 근데 휴슈 근데 사이 말레비 나니다 코를 집에서 잡아는 근데 노벌을 위해서다 소시 잡아 못들 그거는 너 내가 싫어야 돼. 일단 다선 드네도 저러서 샤스로라 드네 근데 와서서 소사바세. 나셔바다 쇼니제 민노 제다 사도 보스 누가다. 니 바레스다. 내가 소사바나 이제 라마노 신게제데 생아라 예라 담바 나제데 샤고스 예라 담바요다 계속해서 다다래.
So then the text continues with this second heading, which is on about the heading on the accumulating the accumulations. So that's the heading, which read, as before, the seven limb practice should be done in the presence of the direct and lineage gurus and the merit field explained previously. So in here, so the essentially, so we need to we need to first establish the what is called as the sokshin, or the field of merit, so which is by the visualizing the object of the refuge. And so, because it is in front of this object of refuge, or this that we accumulate, we have to engage in the practice to accumulate the accumulation or the merits. So, of course, this doesn't mean that all the what has already been covered prior to that, such as like taking refuge, doesn't mean that is not we are not accumulating merit. So, however, so here, so in order to as part of the engaging the practice to accumulate merit, so first we have to establish the field of merit by mentally visualizing the object of the refuge. So here it is said that there's the kind of the systems or that we should follow here, which is called as the dual traditions of one in all. So which is where you can visualize like, for example, the Lord Shakyamuni Buddha as the central figure, and then simply surrounding the Buddhas are all the other gurus, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, all the deities, and the all the other, the Sangha members, and as well as the Dhamma protector, and so forth. So in here, when you read this in this line, you take note of this saying the direct and the lineage gurus. So who is the direct guru is the one from whom you directly receive the teaching, the teaching on Dharma, teaching of the Dharmas, and so from that perspective, so for us, even the Shakyamuni Buddha is like almost like our lineage gurus, and so therefore the here, if as just mentioned, if we follow this the jewel tradition of the one in all, then it is very we find this way of visualizing the field of merit or the object of refuge as a very simple but yet very very powerful one, because in this system, in this tradition, so we see our guru as the embodiment, or the of all the objects of the refuge. Guru, you see all the Buddhas, all the Bodhisattvas, and the deities, and so forth. So we focus. So Guru as the source of all the object of refuge for us. And then goes to the next topic, which is third, the training in the attitudes. So which says a third, as explained previously, the observed object and aspect of love and compassion should be visualized. So just before this, so as we said, we have to visualize the field of merits. So which is all the object of the refuge. So in front of which, so we gather these accumulations. So now this here, what is the instructed here is something we should also always be incorporated into our whenever we do practice. So like it talks about training in the attitude. So where it talks about the advise us to cultivating love and compassions. So which is to then so for this, so we first have to the focus, the focusing on the situation of all the other sentient beings, how they are caught or they are inflicted with these incredible sufferings, and by observing or by reflecting on that, then let within us some sort of this feeling of compassion or this sense of the empathy to arise, that and we through this, so we wish strongly wish those the being to be free from sufferings, and likewise by focusing on then how all other beings are lacking lacking happiness, lacking joy. So just by again focusing on that, the fact that they are lacking joy, and then we should try to let these the loving kindness to arise, pure loving, that is to be sincerely wishing them to joy and happiness also. And then the it says the no. No. So the second, then the actual rituals, so which has a 7, is it like you said? So the actual, so the rituals also begin with this line which says, second, so in front of the masters, the student should kneel down on the right knees. Alternatively, sitting in a crouching position is also appropriate. So with palms joined, he should generate bodhicittas. So this, so here we find the what kind of the sitting postures we should adopt. So we should give you two options. Either we can sit on the right knee, or just to kneeling down. So whichever you choose, and then with the two hands joined together in prayer gesture, and then we we trying to generate the bodhicittas. So that is to thought of sincere thought or wish to achieve the state of Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. So
제대 수지 토바 샤원연다 세셰바서 먼저 세라데 세셰바서 진리 세셰 메시지 진리 세라 제세서 메시지 더 주세네 네 세대 셰바라 미니 현주 마토 바나 마토 냠년다 제도 더 자와 예미 대 선바 초하라 되니 셰바서 메시지니 초그거는 좋아라 초그거는 이런 거 내가 좋아하는 초그 주고 메시지 초그거는 좋아라 샤라 라서 가서 메시지 로자 라고 말 도자 주는 거래 안되네 제도되네 초그거는 샤라 제도 로자 라 만니는 제는 말에 메시지가 된 로자 라 만니 개가 세세 봤어요 로자 라 내게 된다 도자 그거와 니고 도자 내 이거 다 상세돼 야 저거도 대용세야.
So then the continues the distinction of mind generation. Okay, so the mind generations. So here is not the mere mind generation that thinks I will attain Buddhahood for the welfare of others. Rather, it is the promise that observing the mind that has been generated, think I shall not give it up as long as I have not attained enlightenment. So that is why that attitude should be generated in reliance upon our rituals. So here we must take a note of that the text makes when we participate in the rituals or to generate these aspiring bodhicitta, which is when it says, by the way, when it says mind generation, it means the bodhicittas. So aspiring bodhicittas or a mersim, when we ritual do that, so we have, as you said, that there's two options. One option is that we can, in that ritual, we can simply generate the bodhicitta, aspiring bodhicitta. That is simply that in the ritual, based on the line that you recite. So you just simply think or assume that this you give rise to this bodhicitta or this thought of seeking enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings. So you can simply imagine that this mind aspiring bodhicitta arise within yourself. But as well as depending on these rituals, you can also then generate this aspiring bodhicitta as a way of by taking a pledge or by taking a vow, that is to taking a pledge, to resolving that not only you generate, you give rise to bodhicitta, but you resolving yourself that you would you will not give up on this bodhicitta mind. So this now regarding this, so it's it said that if when we have this decide to take in this ritual, when you decide generate bodhicitta as a aspiring bodhicitta as a vow or as a pledge, then we only do that if we feel that we can keep these precepts. We have the feel that we feel confident, or we have the text does explain it later on. If we feel that we have the capacity to keep the precepts of the bodhicittas, but otherwise you simply generate the aspiring bodhicitta. So this quite often when we taking the empowerment, as part of that, so there's a ritual where we generate the aspiring bodhicitta again. So it is for that part of that is not necessary to generate bodhicitta as a way of taking a vow. So you can simply cultivating the aspiring bodhicitta will do for that.
대답이 메시지 로자라 로문이나 마샤스 매제 저거 도시가 자고 말이야 사람이 시에서 마샤라스 마샤라 세제 통제제 된다 나 수제선저로 녀바샤고 자자 도자고 말에 세제선이 나 수제니 공부도 바샤고 대신 너가 레스텔란데지 맨은 내지 로제 아보야 다 저러냐다 되니 카시고 관리 공이 뭐야래 세제제 로 만내나 마샤 마샤스 마샤스 되니 마샤스 미사 마샤 세제 통제제 된다 수제선저 샤고 샤고는 된다 대 녀바선 저기 시에나는 세제제 로자라 라만니로 니만 인게르 스테이서 다네요 로자라 시비 초코스데.
So we just continue the reading.
세세 좋은 거는 매세 좋은 거는 좋아나 매세 로자셰 르죠 로르죠 머리 인기로가 레스 아 좋은 거는 더 지금 매세 더 좋아나 매세 로자라 라니게 마니게 머리다는 뭔데 뒤더 제대로 로송한테 되는 로송이야.
So if we continue the readings, and then it will the text clarified what we just briefly discussed before regarding the generating the aspiring bodhicittas in the by depending on the rituals, where there's two modes there. The one mode we simply generate, and other mode is we take a vow. So it says, so with respect to aspiring bodhicittas, so these two approaches may be appropriate. So however, with respect to taking engaged bodhicitta by means of a ritual, it is inappropriate to take it without training in the training. So as we just mentioned earlier, so how clear this the great Tsongkhapas makes a point that how when we with regard to the rituals, engaging the ritual to generate this aspiring bodhicitta, so we can engage it simply to generate bodhicitta, or we can also take the vow of this relating to this the generation of aspiring bodhicittas. And however, it says here it is inappropriate to take it without training in the training. So however, makes sense that if it is inappropriate, if you feel you are not able to keep up with the precepts of the bodhicittas, and so on, then you don't take it as in this ritual. You don't take general bodhicitta as a pledge. So therefore, continue. Therefore, it is unreasonable to posit that a difference of appropriateness and inappropriateness should be made with regard to the many rituals for the vow transmitted from the. So it's not yet Nagarjuna and Asanga. So however, these are also the points being made here that when we talk about the engaging in the rituals to take to generate the engaging, not aspiring, the engaging bodhicitta, then there is no such there's no such two options. So if you only engaging in that if you feel that you have the ability, or you feel the capacity to keep up with all the precepts, then you engage in. Otherwise, you can't. You should not. Is saying that you should not engage. No.
Maribana, then Mariban, Mesela, Teta, Ni Ringi, you know, Gisela, Chokin Lepa, Lojala, Malona, Shamari is that Teta, the Shetata. Then there's a song.
So I'll just read again. Therefore, it is unreasonable to posit that a difference of appropriateness and inappropriateness should be made with regard to the not that one. With respect to aspiring bodhicitta, these two approaches may be appropriate. However, with respect to taking engaged bodhicitta by means of a ritual, it is inappropriate to take it without training in the training. No. No. So with regarding the engaging, participating in the ritual for the engaging, cultivating engaging bodhicitta. So there is you only engage. So if you feel that you are able to keep all the precepts. So otherwise you don't engage. So therefore there is no, in the ritual of engaging bodhicitta, so there is no two options.
이나 가셔 리그 말이 때 요아 되는 쳐봐대 돼야 돼. 가셔 리그 말이 되는 얘기를 말이 도저히 되니 너희 뭐 처음 통제 너희 뭐마 이면은 통제 개력을 나게 라면서 로 처음 돼서 다저 되니 너는 여자 가면 너 되니 이제 봐 샤리 말이 되니 말이 말하면 돼. 말이 소스 돼 하고 여러분 다 그런 말이에요. 마바는 로자라 몰라 발라 메세 셰르용 제도 머리 사자네 dombashi 좀 다들 담다 모두 만들어 로저도 손에 이제 봐 dom비치다 저가 뭐보나 샤르와도 머리비 샤바제나 내가 머리서 사다 다로지 못해 다들어라 당아바 로자라 몰라 발라 메시지 줄라 메시지 로자마자 메시지 줄라 예세제도 머리와나 다 사자리 dom발리 좀 넣이사야.
So the text says, so therefore it is unreasonable to posit that a difference of appropriateness and inappropriateness should be made with regard to the many rituals for the vow transmitted from Nagarjuna and Asangas. So this the great Tsongkhapa now so clarified here that you should not be carried on by some other who make these interpretations that according to the tradition of Nagarjuna and Asanga, there are certain the case where these make the difference, make the difference of appropriateness, not inappropriateness. No. And then the fifth. So although it is appropriate for someone not training to generate the aspiring mind, the vow of engaging bodhicitta is inappropriate. So the advice to king Prasanajit says that if one cannot train in the training of generosity and so forth, a great amount of merit is accomplished in mere mind generations. So let's continue. So just read the advice to King Prasanajit says that if one cannot train in the training of generosity and so forth, a great amount of merit is accomplished in mere mind generations. So the text points out that how even simply generating the mind generation, which is the bodhicittas, that how much we accumulate a great amount of merit, and simply in the sense that even if we do not engage in the bodhisattvas bodhisattvas trainings, such as the bodhisattva training of six perfections, and the four means of gathering disciples and so forth. So how even if this is to point out that even if we do not have this the engaging bodhicittas, and that we because of our lack of the capacities, lack of our ability to engage in commit ourselves to all the bodhisattvas deeds. However, this just even if we simply cultivating this aspiring bodhicittas also gather a great amount of merits. So this is what the emphasizing here, and then taking this as its source. So the stages of the meditations, the middling stages of the of meditations. Says, whoever cannot train in the perfection fully in all their aspects should still generate bodhicitta, thoroughly conjoined with method, because the result will be great.
Jin da ling ba yala zong tse de la gi je che ba ta ta la ge ni do te go de na ji ba la te a ko she che de ni ba san to ga ke les go ba ya ye te te ta san te do den du ga da ni ka ta sen che ji go re pa ba che san de ya don ba ju de mo ru ala che sa lo don ba ju mo ru ala se she ba so ta sa bo ren de a su de.
So then the text summarize here in this sentence all the above point. Thus, it is clear that it is appropriate for someone incapable of training in the training of generosity and so forth to do the mind generations, but inappropriate to take the vow. So it makes very clear that if one feel not confident enough to take the like the precepts or to take up this generated bodhicitta by way of taking a vow or the pledge, so you can that there's an option in that, and in the ritual there's still option simply to generate bodhicitta. So that is simply in the ritual, so you simply generate the thought of seeking complete enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings. So of course, I just forgot one point. So when we take the vow or the pledge, along with generating bodhicitta, then we will be committing ourselves to engage in all the bodhisattvas deeds, such as deeds in order to subduing one's own continuums, engaging in the deeds of sixth perfection, and then primarily to subduing other continuum of other beings and engaging in the four means of gathering. So when you feel confidence, then you take the vow, otherwise simply generate the aspiring bodhicitta. And now the ritual for assuming the mind generations. So those of you who is doing the like for the Vajrayogini or the Heruka practice, so you can notice in the beginning that how there's a line of prayer where you simply generate the bodhicitta mind, that is, you wishing to achieve, to quickly achieve the enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings. And then after that, then there is a part where you said, in order to fulfill that wish, then I, engage in this, for instance, this Vajrayogini practice. So which is like a generating the engaging bodhicittas. So now the section 6, the ritual for assuming the mind generations. So the ritual for assuming the mind generations. So is so there's a formal the ritual like a formula or a statements, prayers here, which goes which one say, you know, in the ritual. So all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas residing in the 10 directions. So please grant me your attentions. So masters, please grant me your attentions. Now, see how, you know, when we generate the in the beginnings in these rituals, first we draw the attentions. We ask for the attention of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and you know, and we're saying, you know, please, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please listen to me. And not only that, then you call upon your master or your guru. So, you know, also please pay attention to me. So therefore, you know, it kind of the whatever the you know, one promised to do in this ritual. So how if we do not follow this up, then basically then we are like, it's like we are deceiving all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And so okay, sorry. Then it goes on. Master, please grant me your attention. Then I, whose name, so that you insert your name. Then by means of the roots of the virtue of nature of generosities, the nature of ethics, the nature of meditation that I have created. So this the root of the virtue virtues, that is like a merit, which you have created, which you may have created through your practice of generosity, through a practice of moral ethic and meditation and so forth. So that is like something, something that you offer. And also, in fact, in certain ritual, there are people also take a certain offering substances. So as a part of making request, to you draw the Buddha's and Guru's attentions. So because to imply that you have something a request to make, and then as part of that making request, then you are offering this the root of your virtue or your merit, or even you can have the actual the offering substances as well.
사체모 내비고치니 현주 삼바 첨보 논jas 너희가 라난메바 요도보도 현주의 퇴시바 인자바 대전도 녀소지바 다든지점바도 나 다점바는 녀라발로지 니가서 도모 현주 퇴시바 대노지 당아 제기지요다 로 퇴시니 인자바 다 대제다 나도 다 이내는데 로발로 니가 저 제들에 나가면서
and then continue the nature of ethics, nature of meditation that I have created, cause to be created, and rejoice in the creation of these in this life and in previous life. Then continue, just as the previous Tathagatas, Arhats, perfectly complete Buddhas and great Bodhisattvas, thoroughly abiding on the great grounds, generated the mind of unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. So in the same way, also I, whose name you insert your name, from now until I reach the essence of enlightenment, will generate the mind of unsurpassed, perfectly complete, great enlightenment. So it's saying just as how all the Tathagatas, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, how they are in their during their course on the path of training or path of learning, that how they have done that, they have generated bodhicitta. So am I. Is also saying that I will also generate this the bodhicittas also.
다 면대 시제와 소소미 말민들이 세기 세워다 대지가나 대노제 말민들이 세기 세워라 말민들이 세다 면대세야 나민들이 자수죠 대잖아 다 면대 시제 장스 제 말민들 나로 장스 이거도 다 가르세 딘덴 주제 제시 현주 니보라 다 현니보라 지거셔유 내셔유 되면 소마지 받는 거 마지제 받다 라나메 봐 요다바 조비 세 현주 전부 얘는 세셔바 샤워를 현주세 샤워 내가서 다산한테 세셔기 진라서.
So then continues the will generate the mind of unsurpassed, so perfectly complete, great enlightenment. So just as just as all the Tathagatas and so on. So it's saying that I also generate this the mind unsurpassed, perfect, and the complete. The enlightenment, mind of enlightenment, until I reach the essence of the complete enlightenment.
No.
I will liberate. I will liberate the beings that are not liberated, free those who are not free, and give breath to those unable to breathe, and cause those who have not completely passed beyond sorrow to completely pass beyond sorrows. No. No.
That session, then the session association. That session is another power. That shark is the shark here. Wrong in it, Tojan Never, that session is shark are here, and Shanders. You know, that's the young government, the Mula Kaji with Sanchez, Madron drawing each is. Madron drawing each, you Mashaman is, young element, using young and dying Chevy, that shark you got Chevy. Nyamo be developed Matrova, Nyamo Trangi Chegis, she had developed Matrova, she had developed Chegis, they Mashaman, they Chegis, young and Mandava, no so you call what the young so just Komotova Chegis, that's what you said. The shot head. Roisa, Shana, she carries that, should you say, Shah, she takes Chegis, that didn't touch us. I'm telling on the Machena, how can you come the eyes? Just said the young other Polish, so mean, Benny, then underneath say, underneath your last one. That's a son death. I don't know, young, you're saying young and thou shall watch, young and thou, young and thou, Joe, he less a jet, yes. Shandy change, Chokadon, and then you like Loveja, just a diggy big, Saka, Loveji, Saka, Machine, give back the Yenos. Loveja, that Loved me take one and then Jedis or give me gay on my thing, Jedis or Gores, Shandro Duga, Shandro, Chandy Chokat, then you last. Shandro, my Jedis or good, Shandy Dombala, Jedis or good, she says that Jedis or good.
So in short, so in here, so you you draw, you call upon all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas and the ones guru, and then to then you said that you all of this, the Buddhas and your gurus offer as a witness. Then you said that are you generate? Even you pronouncing, your own name that you declare, you make the declare that I generate this the mind of enlightenment of the bodhicittas, and then when it says here the statement, I will liberate the being that are not liberated, free those that are not free, give breath to those unable to breathe, and cause those who have not completely passed beyond sorrow to completely pass beyond sorrow. So this is to clearly to indicate that now after having generated the bodhicitta mind, then what are you going to do? In plain language, then you're saying that the purpose or the reason why I generate this bodhicitta mind is to liberate the being that are not liberated, or free those who are not free. So we can take in terms of those liberating those who beings who are not liberated from these, like the true obscuration, like the obscuration to afflictive obscuration, and the cognitive or the obstruction to omniscient mind. Those who are not liberated or free from that, I will liberate and free from these two obstructions. And those who cannot, who are unable to breathe the breath of joy and happiness, I will cause them to breathe the joy and happiness. And this what says then as the continue. So say this 3 times. So even though it is not clearly mentioned in the refuge ceremony and in this ritual, it is necessary. So repeat this word after the masters.
다 레서 제래 동바에 레 선비가 타타는 동바 도시 메메 제거를 는 동바 저서 동 마녀바에는 권 패서 템보 제수스나 다든지 내가 그게 사냐 봐잖아 동바라마메 바로 라마메 다 라마야 봤잖아 다 라마메 베다 쉔세 롱기 저기 거네 라마메 롱기 저기 저거 라마야는 라미트도 용어로 봐 템보야 보용가래 이치바나야 보용다 얘는 라마체마 말을 장결로 여기는 안데 이치바나 치지 용어도 와 근데 기바야 라마메 아셔 기바야면 라마야 판로 자서 레데네 안다는 라마야 바다 라마메 바이테 지만 롱면 다 생각이 있어 내 저를 해보 말로네 해보 내 로즈니 가디나 신세바 더발려거다 온라인 저를 가봐요 나 온타라나 마돌려가 하셔봐라 되네 오라는 주돌려가래 자 주돌려 메시가 와래 자 딩에서 다 오라서 슈니 세마 말해봐 정말 이제 그거 알아야 내게 다 선도로 그냥 온 전에 신는데 토스 털이 토스인데라 토스에 지자면 털이 된데 아직 배운 저거야 말이 무슨 대지 봐선 되네 앞으로 다 선택도시야 되네 다 그때 야야
So in this, so we can understand how in this ritual, so we not only generate the bodhicitta mind, but also we resolve ourselves to engage in the bodhisattva deeds of such as like liberating the being that are not liberated and so forth, and then as it says, this statement is repeated 3 times after the guru. So which as it says, even though it is not clearly mentioned in the refuge ceremony and in this ritual, it is necessary to repeat this word after the masters. So this is a manner of taking the mind generation in the presence of a masters. So although it's generally speaking, it is not necessary to it depends on the living masters in order to generate bodhicitta and take the vow. But however, in here, so we are following the system where the ritual which is dependent on the masters. So therefore, they need to be depends on the masters, and so this and then this, as it says, this is a manner of taking the mind generation in the presence of a masters. So so how this all when we thinking of our own like a spiritual practice, there's no doubt we all wanted to be to take the practice which is most profound and such as we want to take the highest of the highest, like the tantric initiation and so forth. But in the however we need to also think of in terms of the practice. So when you think of in terms of the practice, then how when we take taking an initiation involve us to take like a tantric vows. So we have to ask ourselves, are we ready for that? To keeping those vow, and also to before that, in order to receive the tantric vow, we have to receive the bodhisattva's vow or the generate this engaging bodhicitta. Again, we have to think of the capacities to engage in the bodhisattva's deeds, and also how then we go back then before cultivate taking the bodhisattva's vow, we have to generate bodhicitta mind, and then how what causes we have to create to generate bodhicitta mind. So that is to cultivating love and compassions. So these are all it's very important to understand how we have to pay attention to on the ground level, what we have to pay attention to doing well in terms of our build to improve or to build on our practice. Mm-hmm. So we stop here. Finish.
로제마사 로제마
No.
로마제마사 로제마사 내리 내리 고사
No.
내리 셔라 로제마사 요 내려 어제
로제메 지고 내리 고사 한번 로제마사 So that's a mandala of the what's it called, the deity of the Lojima. No. In the corona virus, nothing love. No. 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 The virus. Endemic. The epidemics. Epidemics. That's cho. Gune chapchimbu dunga jola. Epidemics. No. Coronavirus. Now, so this particular practice of this particular deity, which wears the leaf, what's it called? Huh? Yeah, is recommended specifically for the the preventing coronavirus. Huh? It's the deity which wears the leaf. I don't know. Lojema. So there was specifically the instruction was recommended by the current Sakya, the holder of Sakya throne. Yeah, Sakya Tenzin. Mantra, if you got the mantra of this particular deity, which for this, the controlling the coronavirus.
Somebody sent that picture you have. Somebody sent it around. I think it was drawn by Sakya Tenzin, but I'm not too sure.
There's a different color of the deities. Five different colors.
Geshe, is there a mantra we should say?
No,
Is there a mantra we should say?
no, mix it in it. So the prayer of this particular deities is also recited.
I think yesterday before 2-3 days ago, I think yesterday Sasatin said that. No, I think she said that. He said that. I think before that this impairment, I think I have all I test, I look, maybe after long, then yesterday said that.
We have a text somewhere, so he's going to look for that text. He was thinking of the same deity for this
we'll do the Heart Sutra now. It's on page 17. Homage to the
on Benza Pani, very good, Benza Pani.
on Benza.
On Benza Pani.
Benza Pani.
Lamasan, Lamasan, very powerful.
Lamasan.
Yes, very, very you do it. Benza Yoga is very powerful. Her kindness into the body. That tell my yes, and then Meg Zayan, they just say Korea.
The watching Venus mantra or the Hiruka mantras, they said all these are very powerful. Or even the Lama Tsongkhapa's prayers, Mixema, that's, if we recite that, we also very... yeah. Then we all know there's a medicine, Buddhist, prayers, mantras.
Just looking next to it.